The first time I saw her, the sky was breaking. Black smoke clawed up from the spaceport and bled into a violet evening, and the shattered ribs of the Starliner rose from the dunes like a skeleton praying for the rain. I had been hired to guide evacuees along the old storm tunnels beneath the city. Half pay up front, half when we reached the shuttle pads. I was used to panic, to the taste of dust and burned metal. I wasn't used to seeing a girl in white walking straight through a firefight, head high, a coronet of living lights circled above her hair. "Down!" I shouted, grabbing her wrist as tracer rounds stitched the street. She looked at me with eyes like the deep part of the ocean and did not flinch. "You are Jonas Vale," she said, as if reading it off my bones. "Guide. Honest. Reckless." "Your Highness has the wrong alley," I said, but the mercenaries had already seen her. The bounty on the Princess of Elware was worth more than 10 lives like mine. A gun barked. She didn't even turn. I did. Only long enough to plant my body between her and the muzzle flash. The impact was a hammer through my side. Fire, cold as space, punched into me and ripped the world out of shape. Fell. It caught me. "You fool," she whispered, not angry, bewildered. "Why would you do that?" "Seemed like the right thing," I grunted, trying to laugh and breathing blood instead. Around us, the mercs regrouped. The nearest one stepped over me, gun lowering toward her. The girl in white's hand lifted. The air tasted like rain after years of drought. The coronet above her flared, and a wave of cool light swept outward, gentle as a tide. It folded the shooter's arm harmlessly aside, turned bullets into moths that broke against the ground. In the hush that followed, she knelt, sliding one hand beneath my head. "Hold still," she said. "I have been patched by field medics with hands like iron and liquor on their breath. I have been stitched and glued and stapled shut." This was something else. Heat spread through me, not fever heat but hearth heat, the kind that makes winter bearable. I felt the bullet shift dissolve. Felt torn muscle weave itself with faint threads of light. The pain didn't vanish. It unfurled and left my body like smoke. "Gratitude," she murmured, as if apologizing. "Our physicians call it cellular resonance. But what it is, Jonas Vale, is gratitude." "Your gratitude?" asked Dizzy. The world clicked into focus around the edges. Shadows retreating down alleys, mercenaries shaken and scattering. The sky still burning. "Mine," she said, cheeks flushed. "And my people's." "Then let's earn some more of it," I said, forcing myself up. "Storm tunnels are 3 blocks east." We moved. I've led 100 runs through these ruins. I've never moved like that. Body weightless, breath clean, the ache in my ribs no more than a memory echo. Whatever she had done wasn't just repair. It was a promise pressed into my cells. Behind us, drones hunted. Ahead, sirens wailed. The princess, Saran, she told me as we ran, kept pace like wind, bare feet kicking sparks from broken glass. "My father is dead," she said as we slid into the darkness of the tunnels. "My people are scattered. There is a ship waiting if I can reach it, and a council that will tear itself apart if I do not." "I'm sorry," I said. It wasn't the right shape for grief, but it was what I had. I snapped glow sticks, clipped them along the wall, counted lefts and rights by muscle memory. The city groaned above us, aging and angry. "They will paint you a traitor," Saran said, voice small now that we were enclosed. "They will say I bewitched you." "I've been called worse," I told her. "And if anyone bewitched me, it was this place, a long time ago." The air shivered, drones this far down. They had mapped the tunnels then. I swore under my breath. "Change of plan," I said. "Service ladder. We go up, jump the magline, ride it to the pad." Saran's hand found mine. It was cooler than human, pulse slow as a tide. "You are still bleeding a little," she said. Later. The service hatch opened on a wind that smelled of ion and storm. We climbed into twilight streaked with falling ash. The magline hummed above us, sleek as a blade. I vaulted the railing, caught a maintenance rung, hauled myself onto the service platform. Saran leaped, light as a song, and landed beside me. Sirens rose again, nearer. A drone banked toward us, red-eye bright. "Down!" I pulled her under the lip, felt the heat of the drone's cutter rake the rail where her head had been. Another bullet stung my arm, grazing this time. I swore and stood up to fire back with the pistol I'd lifted from a merc. The drone dipped, targeting me. Saran stood. "No!" I snapped, grabbing at her sleeve, but she was already lifting her hands, palms out. The coronet brightened, until it was painful to look at. A river of light poured from her into the drone, and the machine faltered, slowed, and, impossible, turned, interposing its steel body between us and the next burst of gunfire from the pursuing mercenaries. "They are not alive," she said softly. "But they can be taught to refuse." The drone broke apart gently like a firefly going out. We rode the magline, hunched and breathless, all the way to Pad 7. The ship was there, a teardrop of black glass with a throat of blue flame, ramped down, guards in chrome armor bowing as Saran approached. A general in a cloak the color of morning stepped forward, and staggered when he saw me at her side. "Majesty," he said, voice crackling. "We feared you lost." "I would have been," Saran said, "without Jonas Vale." The general's eyes went to the blood drying on my sleeve, the holes burned in my jacket, the ruins behind us. I braced for suspicion. Instead, he took my hand in both of his. "On Lyr," he said, "a life owed is a crown heavy as gravity." Saran turned to me then, the coronet dimming to a gentle halo. "You took a bullet for me," she said simply. "I cannot return that with coin or title alone." "I wasn't asking for either," I said. The ramp behind her glowed. The ship was impatient. The city groaned like an animal in pain. She stepped close. The light between us hummed. "I offer a vow then," she whispered, "to mend what pain has made in you today's and what came before. If you will come. If you will stand beside me when I speak to a council that likes the sound of their knives." A laugh escaped me, short and raw. "I'm not a court man." "Good," Saran said. "I have courtiers. I need a compass." Something unclenched inside me then. Something older than the bullet, older than this city. I thought of the jobs I'd taken because they kept me moving, the beds I never stayed in, the dream, I used to have it, of an ocean I had never seen. I thought of the moment her hand had cradled my skull on that ruined street and turned pain into heat into breath. "Lead the way, Your Highness," I said. She shook her head. The coronet flared once, a sunrise in miniature, and she bowed. From the waist, formal, solemn, a princess before a beggar. "No," she said. "Walk beside me, Jonas Vale." Her gratitude's warmth passed through me again. Not a flood this time, but a steady tide. My arms stopped throbbing. The tightness around my heart eased, as if it had been bound and was now unwrapped. I took her hand. Together we climbed the ramp into the teardrop ship, carrying the last of dusk with us, and as the hull closed and the engines woke, the city fell away like an old scar you know is there but do not need to keep touching.